What's up, everybody? So, this is part 3 of how to get your ID, your social security card, and your birth certificate if you don't have one. Alright? In part 1, we explained the problem. Part 2, I told you guys I had a birth certificate, right? I got the birth certificate in part 2. Okay? Right after part 2, right, immediately as I stopped filming, I went and I got on the bus. This right here is a bus pass. It was issued today at 1:15 p.m. It is currently 4:45. Okay? I got on the bus at 1:15. I made it to the temp agency by 2:30. I filled out all of the appropriate paperwork, and I got myself a job. Okay? Now, my father picked me up from the temp agency. Thank you, Dad. I don't know if you'll ever see this video, but I love you. Okay? And regardless of what the world may think about putting your child out on the street, I am forever grateful for the lessons that I have learned through the process of being homeless. And I am still homeless, very much so. But let's get straight into it, shall we? In this envelope, I have obtained my birth certificate and my state ID. In part 2, video I made right before this, I explained how I got the birth certificate. Okay? Now, my father picked me up. Thank you. Okay, I could have used my all-day bus pass. I could have used this as $3 all-day bus pass, get you anywhere you need to go in under an hour. Okay? Now, if you got multiple destinations, it's going to take an hour or two. But I could have used the all-day bus pass. But my father said, we're going to speed up this process, and I'm going to take you to the places you need to go to so that we can see, if we can't get it done, we're going to see what we need to do next, right? And then you can do that on your own time. But for right now, today, I will set aside an hour or two to help you. And he did so. And so my father picked me up from the temp agency, okay? And we had to go back to the Rockford Rescue Mission. Okay, so when he picked me up, we had the birth certificate. We filled out the information to make sure we got the job at the temp agency, the I-9s and the W-2s. Okay, and so he picked me up. We went back to the Rockford Rescue Mission. We got another letter certifying that I was homeless and to use the Rockford Rescue Mission's address for my ID. Okay, now then we went to the driver's license facility on Baxter Road. There's no appointment required for the driver's license facility on Baxter Road. So that's the one we went to. Okay, when we got there, I handed them the letter certifying that I was homeless. Okay, and I gave them my expired ID, and I said I need an ID. She said, I'm sorry, John, but this has to be notarized. So what do you do then? I simply Googled, where do you get a notary of the public? The UPS store. Who would have known? So we drove out to the UPS store, and for $5, okay, there was an issue because the paper that she gave me did not have it's supposed to have and somewhere on the paper it's supposed to say place notary of the public here. And there was nowhere for the notary to be put. He couldn't just simply stamp it in a random spot. It had to have this little notation. How you guys doing? Thanks for joining on the live stream. I'm just telling people how they can get their birth certificate, state ID, and everything, how I got this done. So without further ado, we went to the UPS store, and it was $5 for the notary. Now, because the paper didn't have a place for the guy to put the notary at, he had to give me a separate piece of paper, and he signed that with the notary, and he stapled it to the paper that I needed notarized, okay? And I didn't know if they'd accept that at the DMV because it's not directly on that piece of paper, you know? It's two separate pieces of paper. But nonetheless, I took the two separate pieces of paper, which the guy with the notary stapled together, and I went back to the DMV, and I said, here's my expired ID, and here is the homeless letter from the Rockford Rescue Mission, and This is the notary. They're stapled together. This is the best that the UPS store could do. Because with notaries, they have to witness the signatures and stuff. So that's why the extra piece of paper was required, I guess. But he went out of his way. You know, any other person who does notaries may have not known about this other piece of paper, I guess, this other part of the process, you know. So he went out of his way and he said, I got this other piece of paper. We're going to notarize it, staple it together, take it over to the DMV. And the DMV accepted it. So inside this envelope, I have my birth certificate and my state ID, which is all I need in order to go back to 404 Elm Street, the Winnebago County Administration's office, and I can hand them the birth certificate and the state ID, and I will have a Social Security card tomorrow. Okay? Within 48 hours, I had no ID, no birth certificate, no Social Security card, no verifiable address, and I was able, no license, bus pass, right? And I was able to obtain all the needed documentation by 5 o'clock. 1:15. It is currently 4:53. Okay? So if God blessed you with breath in your lungs, eyes to see, and legs to walk with, and maybe $3 for a bus pass, there are no excuses. No excuses. Okay? I've been homeless for a while. I've heard a lot of people say, oh, I need my ID, I need my this, blah, blah, blah. I don't have this, blah, 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 blah. I got it in 3 hours. There are no excuses. Okay? If the homeless man can do this in 3 hours, so can you. And thanks to these videos, now you know how it's done. Now you know how to get this done. Okay? Need a notary? UPS store. Need a verifiable address? Rockford Rescue Mission. It's actually a lot simpler than I thought it was going to be. So, no excuses. Okay? Yeah, we did it, guys. With literally faith the size of a mustard seed, we just moved the whole damn mountain. Okay? And that's why I wear these wristbands. I don't know if you know, but this is a suicide one, and these are all quotes from the Bible. I wear these everywhere I go. I don't take them off in the shower. They go everywhere with me. All right? I probably shouldn't do this on social media, but my body is my temple. He's with me everywhere I go. I fully believe that. All right? I'm sorry if that's not what you believe in. I try to keep away from talking about religion when you're talking about recovery. But it's a real thing. And I'll probably avoid talking about religion in my social media, as I always do. But if you saw this video, just know that there is something real behind it. And it might help to get curious about your spirituality and to start looking into those things. Because these things are very real. And they're life-changing. So we did it. In under 3 hours. With no license. No address, we did it. No excuses. Love yourself, love others, and love the world around you, all right? I'm not going to keep this one too much longer. I'm going to be doing karaoke tonight. I got something to celebrate, right? First day of work is tomorrow at 6 a.m. So I'm going to do karaoke tonight, and I'm going to celebrate this major victory. I got a job. I don't know if I'm going to be able to hold the job, but we are most certainly going to do our very best at that. For sure. So, follow along as I continue to rebuild my life, guys. All right? Once I get my first paycheck, we're going to go try to figure out about the child support situation. so that I can maybe get a license. Hopefully before I get off probation. I don't know. But there are many goals and boxes left to check here. So just step one. But like I said, no excuses. Love yourself. Love others. Love the world around you. Peace.